In ancient Israel, the people made a fateful choice. Rather than trusting in the Lord as their king, they demanded a human ruler like the nations around them. The Lord told Samuel to warn them what a king would cost them: their sons taken for war, their daughters for service, their fields and flocks taxed away. Yet the people refused to listen. This moment marked a turning point in Israelite history, a shift from a covenant people led by God to a nation shaped by earthly power. The Lord chose Saul, a tall and handsome man from the tribe of Benjamin, to be Israel's first king. Through a remarkable series of events, Samuel anointed him privately, then confirmed him publicly before all Israel. Yet Saul was deeply insecure. When the moment came to present him as king, he hid himself among the baggage. Despite outward appearances, the Lord had placed his spirit upon Saul and given him a new heart to lead. But Saul's story became a warning. When the Philistines gathered against Israel with a massive army, Saul grew impatient, waiting for Samuel, and offered a burnt offering himself, a sacred act reserved for the Lord's appointed priests. Samuel rebuked him sharply. Because Saul had not kept the commandment of the Lord, his kingdom would not continue. Later, when the Lord commanded Saul to utterly destroy the Amalekites, Saul again disobeyed. He spared their king and kept the best livestock, claiming he intended to sacrifice them to God. Samuel answered with words that have echoed through the ages: "To obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams." Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because Saul had rejected the word of the Lord rejected him as king. The Lord then sent Samuel to Bethlehem to the house of Jesse to anoint a new king. Jesse brought 7 of his sons before Samuel, each impressive in appearance. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, for the Lord seeth not as man seeth. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." None of Jesse's 7 sons was the Lord's chosen. Finally, the youngest was called in from the fields where he had been keeping sheep. His name was David. And the Lord said, "Arise, anoint him, for this is he." The Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. This lesson invites us to examine who we look to for guidance and safety. Earthly kings and institutions will always fall short. Jesus Christ is the true and eternal King. Unlike rulers who take and demand, he gives and redeems. He does not judge by outward appearance, but looks on the heart. As you reflect on these chapters, consider the areas of your life where you may be leaning on the arm of flesh rather than on the Lord. Consider how Saul's small compromises led to greater ones. And consider David, overlooked by the world but chosen by God, a reminder that the Lord sees worth and potential that others miss. The Lord is looking on your heart. What does he see? And what kind of heart are you giving him?